Okay, so welcome everybody to today's webinar and thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to welcome you to our first in a series of training webinars that we're going to be running for our agency customers over the course of the next year and onwards. So today's training webinar will focus on how to optimize your clients' marketing strategies using competitive benchmarking. At the end of the webinar, we will ask you a couple of questions about what you want to learn from us next to help us plan for the year ahead in terms of these training webinars. So today's webinar will be presented by myself, Jessica. I'm the head of the agency solutions at Similarweb, and Rachel Ricks, our senior solution implementation manager. So just a little bit about ourselves. My goal is to maximize the value that we can provide to our agency customers, and hopefully this training webinar will be one of the contributions to that. And Rachel spends a lot of her time onboarding our new customers and making sure that they're well set up to extract maximum insights from the Similarweb platform. So we've got the best person for the job today to deliver this webinar. So thank you, Rachel, for joining us.
Hey everyone, it's great to have you all here, and yeah, I'm really excited about the webinar.
Great. So just quickly on the agenda today, we're going to quickly cover the value of market intelligence, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. We'll set up the scenario for today's webinar and discuss the goals of what you will be learning today. Then Rachel will walk us through a live demo for the majority of the session today to actually show you in the platform how to navigate and how to extract insights to help answer key business questions. And at the end, I will announce, and I'll just give you a heads up now that we are we have just launched our new agency certification, so we'll be very excited to share more details with you about that. Finally, we'll have time at the end for Q&A to answer your questions. So please, throughout today's webinar, do ask questions through the Q&A button in the panel bar, and we'll get to all of that at the end of the webinar. So some of the customers on this webinar are users of Similarweb frequently. They're using us daily. Other customers on this webinar have come back today for a bit of a refresher. So I just want to start with a reminder about why market intelligence is so critical for agencies. Companies are increasingly focused on being data-driven, and this mentality is changing the way we work. So agencies and brands are looking for ways to test new ideas, measure their performance, and then double down on the strategies that are bringing the most value. The problem is that this is often being done in a vacuum. Data-driven for most companies means using only your own metrics, and at best maybe comparing the performance of one tactic to another, yet there is a fundamental lack of context and visibility. So, for example, a company may grow 20% one year, which may seem like a great statistic, but on its own, that doesn't really provide value in and of itself. The key is being able to compare this statistic against a company's competitors to truly understand how a business is performing. So the key is market intelligence, and that means a deep awareness of the context around a company's performance. So if we go back to that example of 20% growth, if the company's competitors are all growing by 50%, then that performance is no longer so impressive. However, if the competitors are all dropping by 10%, then 20% growth is amazing. And it's market intelligence that brings meaning and value to data by bringing context from your industry and from the wider digital world. So this is the purpose of Similarweb. Similarweb is a market intelligence platform that has coverage, as you can see here, of 80 million websites and 4 million apps globally. And having access to such a powerful database of knowledge can really help you do many things. So your partnership with Similarweb will continue to enable you to position yourself as strong partners to work with. Now to dive into our agency use cases, we've got thousands of agencies using Similarweb across a number of key use cases. So the first would be pitching, and then using it to actually optimize their client strategies. And lastly, to enrich their own tools and dashboards using our API. So today's webinar, we're going to be focusing on this middle use case of building and optimizing marketing strategies for your clients. And that is from the high level, building strategies, and down to executing on some of the more granular tactics. So we're going to use a case study today to walk you through the training. So picture this is the scenario. You've just won the pitch of a new client, prettylittlething.com, Pretty Little Thing. They want to increase their market share. They're gearing up for the Christmas period ahead, and they're running a campaign on Christmas Day outfits, specifically jumpers. Jumpers is sweaters for those of you from the US. Jumpers is sweaters in the UK. So they specifically want to know who they're competing with over this category of product, and if they've optimized their strategies accordingly. Have they got the right keywords? Have they got the right affiliate partnerships, etc.? That's the scenario. And now I'm going to hand over to Rachel, who will kick things off. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Jess. So I'm just going to, Jess, if you just let me share my screen. Perfect. Cool. So thanks, Jess, for introducing the scenario for us. So before I jump onto the platform and you see Similarweb in action, I just want to take you through these training goals so you know exactly what we're trying to achieve and how you can help your client. So as Jess said, we've just won the pitch of Pretty Little Thing, and Pretty Little Thing, they're gearing up for the Christmas season, that they're running a Christmas campaign where they are sort of advertising Christmas jumpers, and they want to make sure that they have optimized their strategies accordingly. So first, what Pretty Little Thing want to do is they want your help in identifying who their high street competitors are. So not simply which fashion brands they're competing against in general, but specifically which fashion brands they're competing against with regards to Christmas clothing and Christmas jumpers. So you can use Similarweb to achieve this. What we're going to do is we're going to identify the high street fashion brands that are receiving organic and paid traffic from keywords related and including Christmas jumper. And in order to do so, we're going to use our keyword generator tool to build us that keyword group and understand how in demand this category of clothing is. Then once we've spotted a couple competitors from that methodology, we're then going to benchmark our client, Pretty Little Thing, against up to 4 of those competitors in order to spot if there are any opportunities or blind spots across our client's marketing mix. We're then going to dive deep into those channels that we've identified. There's an opportunity to drive more traffic through, such as search and referral. So with the search strategy, we're actually going to uncover what keywords your client Pretty Little Thing is losing out on traffic that include Christmas jumpers. And then we're going to see if there are any affiliates that your client Pretty Little Thing is also missing out on. Lastly, goal 3, I'm going to show you how once you've given your client those keyword and those referral recommendations, what do you do next? So I'll show you how you can monitor the effectiveness of those campaigns and monitor your client's performance, which is obviously going to be really crucial in your ongoing work with them as you sort of check on their performance on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis and report back to them. So without further ado, let's jump onto the Pro and start with our first use case, which is all about mapping out your client's competitive landscape with regards to who they are specifically competing against for the Christmas clothing sort of category. So to do that, we want to use our keyword generator tool. Now to gain access to the keyword generator tool, we just need to go into search keyword analysis. The best way to get into this module is just to simply type in any keyword that you like. So if I just type in Christmas jumper as an example, you will then see that all these keyword options come up at the bottom. So I can click on Christmas jumpers. This now takes me into search keyword analysis. And now what we're technically doing is we're analyzing this singular keyword, but we don't just want to analyze this singular keyword. We want to build an entire keyword group around this product. So to do that, we just need to click on this blue button that says new keyword group, and you'll see that we can now access our keyword generator tool. So our keyword generator tool is actually one of my favorite tools in the entire platform, because it allows us to drill down into a specific category or product of your client's business, such as Christmas clothing. So this tool is going to help us find hundreds or thousands of keywords being searched by real life consumers. All we need to do is pick a seed keyword. So for our scenario, I'm going to use Christmas jumper. As Jess said, for all the non-Brits listening in, Christmas jumper means sweater. And you'll see in a second that the platform will as well sort of capture keywords that include those alternatives and include those variations. So we're going to cover, all the blind spots. So we're going to select the UK because that's the market my client is interested in. And now when I select go, I'm also going to widen the time frame so we capture the keywords that were being searched last season. So now you'll see we have two tabs. We have the phrase match, which is an exact match, and we have the related. So if I first just talk to you about the phrase match, this is going to help us identify different brands, different types of Christmas jumpers. All of these keywords will include a Christmas jumper in any particular order. And they're going to start to give us a bit of insight into exactly what your client's target audience is interested in. So for example, we have funny Christmas jumpers, we have novelty Christmas jumpers, we have different brands as well, like Dorothy. And this is not only going to help us build a really sort of rich and accurate keyword group, but it's also going to help you help your client understand what products and types of Christmas jumpers you need to be prioritizing based on what your consumers are interested in. If I also click on related, this is going to give us spelling mistakes. It's going to give us different variations as to how people spell Christmas. For example, we can see Xmas. We can also see that people have spelled jumper wrong. And we also see things like sweater, Christmas sweater dress. So it's going to give you all of those alternative keywords to ensure that we are capturing all of your client's target audience sort of like browsing habits. But now what I want to point your attention to is this leader column, because this leader column is going to help us with our first goal, which is identifying competitors. So now what this shows us is that these domains are winning the most traffic from these keywords. Specifically, next.co.uk is winning the most traffic from the keyword Christmas jumpers. And actually, what we can already see, what is already an immediate insight, is that our client, Pretty Little Thing, is nowhere to be seen in this list of leaders. However, if we go onto their website, we can see that they are selling, Christmas jumpers, Christmas jumper dresses. This is a product that's on their website. It was, in fact, about a week ago on their homepage, but yet they're clearly, they haven't optimized their keyword strategy according to the products that they're selling. So if we go back onto the platform, this is telling us who's leading, but we don't just want to see which website is winning the most traffic. We want to uncover the whole network and understand just how competitive this particular category of clothing is. So to do that, I need to turn this list into a keyword group. So I'm just going to select the top 100 from each list, and I can create a keyword group. Super easy. I'm now going to analyze this group, which takes me back into search keyword analysis. And I've clicked on organic. So now when I scroll down, I'm going to see all the domains that are winning organic traffic from this keyword group collectively. And from this list, we can achieve our first goal. We can understand who your client, Pretty Little Thing, is competing against over this product. We can see, for example, that next.co.uk is getting about 15% of the traffic from this keyword group collectively. We can also identify some other high street brands such as Asda, Boohoo, Matalan, Marks and Spencer. We can also notice that not only was Pretty Little Thing not a leader, but it's not in this list anywhere. So it's got this product on their website, but as I mentioned, they haven't optimized their organic strategy accordingly. However, it's not all bad news for your client. We do also notice another thing. Next is getting about 15% of the traffic from this keyword collectively. However, Asda is also getting 9% and Boohoo is also getting 7%. The traffic is quite evenly distributed across a few of these players. And because there's no one player who is sort of dominating this category of clothing, this is sort of an indicator that there is an opportunity for your client, with your help, to increase its share of voice for this category. I also want to point your attention to paid competitors, because now we can see it's a bit more of a strategic way to find competitors, because we can actually see the domains that have bid on the keywords in this group. So we can see that ASOS is now at the top of the leaderboard. ASOS is now getting 10% of the paid traffic from this keyword group. And if these domains have actually proactively bid on these keywords, then this product, the Christmas jumper category, is clearly very important to their strategy. So this is also a great way to find some competitors. So now I hope that you've sort of understood how to sort of replicate this in your own time, but this is now going to lead us really nicely onto our third goal, which is benchmarking Pretty Little Thing against a few competitors that we have discovered using the keyword generator tool. And then sort of leveraging Similarweb data to have these consultative conversations so you can advise your client on their online strategy. By benchmarking Pretty Little Thing against a few of these competitors, we can actually ensure that your client has optimized their channels and spot if there are any opportunities for them. So now I'm going to move on to the second goal. And to do that, I'm just going to type in our client's domain into the search bar. So Pretty Little Thing, I'm going to click on the website, and it's going to take me through to website analysis, which is this module here at the top. This is where we're going to benchmark Pretty Little Thing against a few of its competitors. So I'm going to click on this compare button, and I'm now going to add in a few of the competitors we just discovered together. So I think I'm going to pick next. .co.uk, because they were performing, they were winning about 15% of the organic traffic. I'm also going to add in Topshop, which was also a top 5 player, and also Boohoo. You can add 4 of your clients' competitors, but I'm just going to stick with these 3. I'm also going to make sure all my filters are correct. So I'm going to select the UK. And I'm also going to apply 12 months worth of historical data. So always make sure that you've applied the right filters. It will obviously affect the data. And now what we want to do is we want to identify how well Pretty Little Thing is doing in comparison to its competitors with regards to its marketing channels. So I'm going to go straight to the marketing channels. And this is going to give us complete visibility into which channels these 4 websites rely on. So this is now going to give you insights into which channels your clients' competitors are sort of prioritizing, where are they allocating their resources. So now, what do we see? Well, first of all, we see that none of these websites, neither 4 of these websites rely too heavily on referrals. However, this doesn't necessarily mean it's not a worthwhile channel to drive traffic through. This could be a great way to help your client gain an edge over the competition. Also, very important that we look at how these channels perform on mobile devices. When you are on the website performance page, you can actually see how much traffic these websites get from mobile versus desktop. And I noticed that these 4 websites get around 75% of their traffic from mobile devices. So obviously it's crucial that we also toggle to how these strategies perform on mobile. And now the results slightly change. So now when I hover over referrals, I actually see that Pretty Little Thing gets about 6% of their traffic, of their mobile traffic, from this channel. So this is a sign to us that this channel is clearly still very important to our client, and we can use Similarweb to help them optimize it further and to help them optimize it on their desktop device if they want. I'm going to come back to referrals and just toggle back to desktop because I want to bring your attention to organic search. Now, what do we see here? We see that Pretty Little Thing get about 45% of their traffic from organic search, but Next and Topshop get about sort of 50% of their traffic from organic search. So this tells us that our client has an opportunity to drive traffic, to drive more traffic through this channel as we gear up, as we gear up to the Christmas season. Now, before I dive deep into the keywords, I just want to understand not only, how much traffic is being driven through organic search, but what's the quality of this traffic. So I can do that down below here at Channel Analysis. When I click on Direct, I'm going to have full visibility of all of the other channels. I can now click on Organic Search, and I can toggle from the traffic share. We can see that Next gets the most traffic from organic search. We can toggle all the way through to the bounce rates. And we can now uncover that not only does Next get the most traffic from organic search, but they also by far have the lowest bounce rate. So whatever keywords they've optimized, whatever keywords they're winning traffic from, obviously, this is bringing really engaged and really relevant traffic. So their keyword strategy is evidently very effective. So now when we dive a bit deeper into the keywords that Pretty Little Thing are missing out on, we want to pay a special attention to the keywords that Next is getting traffic from, because these keywords are bringing in super relevant traffic. So now I feel like I've built this up enough. Let's dive into the keywords and see if we can find some actionable insights for our clients. So once it loads, here we have about 154,000 keywords that are driving traffic to these 4 websites. You'll notice that the first couple of keywords, Next, Boohoo, Topshop, Pretty Little Thing, are the names of the domains. So the first way that I'm gonna segment this list is by clicking on this filter. I'm just going to remove the names of these domains so that we can uncover what actual products consumers are searching for. So that's my first tip once you get to the keyword section of the Pro. And then we're going to uncover, what types of products. Amazing. So now what do we see? Well, first of all, what I see is that Christmas jumpers is in 7th place. It's the 7th most popular keyword. It's driving out of all of these keywords. It's in 7th place for the traffic it's generating. However, if I now look at the competitive traffic share column, I can see that Next in the green is getting about 69% of the traffic from this keyword, and then followed by Boohoo in the red. Our client, Pretty Little Thing, is getting a tiny slither of traffic, about 1.2% traffic from this keyword. As we know, if we go back to their website, this is a product that they're very much selling, but they're not getting any traffic from this keyword. So that's our first insight, that our client has a lot of room for improvement. What we can now do, if we want to uncover all of the keywords that include Christmas jumper, is use this Boolean search bar to drill down into your client's products. So I'm just going to type in Christmas jumper, and it's now going to update the list of keywords and just show me those that include Christmas jumper. And then we're going to see for all of those keywords, which websites are consumers more likely to land on when they are browsing for this particular product. So now we see we've got 284 keywords that include Christmas jumper. At a high level, we can see that 60% of this traffic is going to Next. So Next are really dominating between these 4 websites. And Pretty Little Thing only get about 2% of the traffic from these keywords. So we have lots and lots of actionable insights that we can pass on to our client. We've got 284 potential keywords that we could sort of recommend for them to either bid on or optimize into their strategy. Lots of these keywords are going to be relevant for them, and you can simply just sort of export this list into an Excel as a way to provide this recommendation to them. We can also see, for example, Christmas jumper dress. They're getting 0% of the traffic from this keyword, but if we go onto this website, they're very much selling this product. So a key insight that they will be glad to receive from you. If we want to just take a step further and not just look at Christmas jumpers, but look at sort of Christmas in general, if I just type in Christmas, and now I'm going to see all the keywords that include Christmas. And then we can see if there are any keywords that Pretty Little Thing are winning on. Okay, so now we have over 1,000 keywords. So we did have about 300 keywords, but now just looking at Christmas related keywords, we've got over 1,000, but still Pretty Little Thing are getting about 4% of the traffic. And, you know, even though we've removed jumper, still the most popular keywords that include Christmas also include jumper. So it's a key product. It's a key product for your client. It's a key product for your consumers, and your client is missing out on all this traffic and all these potential paying customers. What I recommend you to do sort of in your own time, I hope I've demonstrated that by using this Boolean search bar, you can really drill down into specific products, but you can also really easily highlight the opportunities, the losses, the wins of your client's keyword strategy by using this competitive traffic smart filter. So I really do encourage you to, after today's demo, to sort of log into the platform and try these filters out for yourself. This is an amazing way to sort of slice the data and to find some quick wins for your clients. Now what I want to do is I want to just go back to your client's affiliate strategy. So if I just click on marketing channels just to remind ourselves. So just to remind you, referrals was a channel that none of these websites were winning that much traffic from. However, when we toggled to mobile, we did notice that our client, Pretty Little Thing, got about 6% of their mobile traffic from referrals. So it is still an important channel to them, and this is a channel that we can help them optimize. So now if I go into referral traffic, I can actually see all of the domains that are sending these 4 websites traffic. So we've got about 497 domains that are driving traffic to these 4 websites. Indeed.co.uk is the strongest affiliate. It's generating the most traffic, and pretty much all of this traffic, 99% of this traffic is going to Next. So immediately we have a recommendation for our clients. We found a website that's driving a lot of traffic to their competitor. They're getting, pretty much 0 traffic from this website, and so already we have a recommendation for them. But in general, here we have about 497 websites across lots of different industries. Let's say, for example, that Cosmopolitan, which is driving traffic to Next and Boohoo, is a website that you recommend to your clients, and they love the idea of partnering up with Cosmo, and they want you to help them find other similar types of affiliates. What we can now do is we can actually click on Cosmopolitan. This is going to allow us to just analyze this website, and we can now find similar affiliates that we can also recommend to our clients by clicking on audience interests. So audience interests is another one of my favorites, my second favorite feature of the platform following the keyword generator tool. And this allows us to see a whole list of websites that people who have gone onto Cosmopolitan also go onto in a 24-hour period. So it's a super versatile feature, but in this particular scenario, it's an amazing way to find affiliate partners based on your clients' consumers' online browsing habits. So from here, we can find other sort of like fashion and beauty blogs and magazines. We've got Elle, we've got Bustle, Refinery 29. You know, if your client love a particular affiliate and they want you to help find them other similar affiliates, then this is a great way to do that. So now we found a few sort of like keyword recommendations, a few affiliate recommendations. Let's pretend in our scenario that you have given these recommendations to your clients. Your job's not over. You still need to monitor the performance and the effectiveness of your recommendations, and ultimately the performance of your client. And Similarweb allows you to do that by creating an arena. So I'm now going to show you how you can set up your arena. Just a bit of an FYI, some of you may not have access to the arena. This is a relatively new feature, but if you like what you're about to see, then please reach out to your account manager who can walk you through it further and tell you how to gain access to this feature. And for those that do have access to the arena, it will be under this workspace module. So now to set up your arena, all we need to do is put in your clients. So I'm just going to put in pretty little thing. I'm going to select our market, select next. I'm now going to put in those same competitors that we were analyzing before. So Boohoo, Next, and Topshop. We could add another one if we wanted to, but I'm just going to stick with those 3 competitors. And we have now created an arena. So what is an arena? An arena is a personalized environment that enables you to benchmark your selected websites performance across a range of metrics. So you can sort of set up an arena for each of your clients. There are a few different elements to the arena, but today I just want to focus on how to use the arena to track your client's share of voice over the keywords that you've recommended them to optimize, and also their share of traffic that they're going to get from the affiliates that you have recommended to them. But in your own time, please create an arena and please explore the other elements that I'm not able to show you today. So what you'll see once you've made an arena is that a keyword group that you've made and a custom category that you've made will automatically sync up with your arena. If for whatever reason you find that it hasn't automatically synced up, just click on this sort of workspace settings, and you will have the ability, if you click on asset management, you'll have the ability to select or deselect the partner list or the keyword list. It should sync up automatically, but if it doesn't, it's a very easy way to sort of add that to your arena. So this is the Christmas jumper keyword group that we made before, right at the beginning of the session. It's synced up with our arena. And now what we want to do is we want to uncover whether Pretty Little Thing is winning traffic from the keywords that we have recommended it to optimize. So before I do that, just as always, make sure you've applied the right filters. And now what I can do is I can benchmark it against my arena. You just select the arena that you want to benchmark it against. And now I can monitor what my client's share of voice for these keywords is over time as we move closer to Christmas. So right now we can see that Pretty Little Thing have a 1.4% share of voice over these keywords. Boohoo and Next, are sort of leading the way. But we're going to want to check this, on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see if this share of voice increases. And then obviously you will want to report back to your clients. What is also an amazing aspect of this particular feature is that we can see that these keywords have spiked in traffic. So they've increased in traffic by over 500% from the previous month. So this is a great way to ensure that you have given your client the best keyword recommendations if you can see that the traffic is sort of spiking month on month. What I can also do is I can do the exact same benchmarking, but I can do it with a group of potential affiliates. So before this webinar, I actually made a custom category in this module here called category analysis. I just added 4 potential affiliates, but you can add up to 100 websites. And I really do encourage you to do this, because that's the only place in the platform that you can actually, add up to 100 websites and, sort of create your own universe of websites. So definitely make the most of that functionality. And what I did is, I created this custom category with the intention of now seeing how much traffic Pretty Little Thing are getting from these websites in comparison to their competitors. So as always, just make sure we have the right filters applied. And now I can benchmark against my arena. And I can see that Pretty Little Thing they have a tiny amount of traffic from these affiliates, but we're going to want to monitor this over time to understand if this traffic increases. We can also see that these 4 domains have declined in the amount of traffic they've generated. So again, this is something we're going to want to monitor, because obviously we want to ensure we have advised our clients on the most lucrative partnerships. So this is again another way that we can monitor these affiliates. So that sort of wraps up the demo. I hope you've been inspired, and I hope that you've learned something along the way. I'm now going to hand things back over to Jess, but thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I think that was a fantastic demo, and I hope all of our customers did as well, and hopefully everyone learned a few new things today. Okay, I'm just going to reshare my screen. So I just want to very quickly recap what Rachel showed us at the beginning. So what we have just covered is the ability to map out, once you're using Similarweb to work with a client, you can map out your client's competitive landscape, really understand who are the key competitors in general, or even down to on a specific product or topic. You can optimize your client's search and referral strategy, and then importantly, if you're working with this client for several months, for a year, ongoing, to be able to track that market share and share of voice over time. So thank you, Rachel. So as I mentioned at the beginning, this was our first in a series of training webinars, and we would really quickly like, before we get to any Q&A, and I will remind you if you do want to ask any questions, now is the time, and we will get to that in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to launch a quick poll. So bear with me. Going to launch a quick poll. You should all see that, and what we want to understand from you, and if you could all please vote, is what use cases would you like us to cover in future training webinars? So if you wouldn't mind selecting the use cases that are relevant to you, whether it's how to build a pitch, zooming in further on search strategies, zooming in further on how to optimize affiliate strategies, whether it's how to monitor and report to clients better, or integrating Similarweb data into your different tools and dashboards, or anything else. And if there is other, please do select other, and we'll be happy to follow up and find out what that other was. There's just only a multiple choice option here and not free text. So just give everyone a few more seconds to select your answers. This will really help us planning the strategy for 2020. Great, I'm gonna end this poll. So thank you very much everyone for voting, and we can see a real mixture of answers, which is helpful and means everyone wants to cover everything. So we will try and incorporate some of this feedback next year. So thank you so much for that. And I'm just going to launch now one more poll, which is on a similar but related topic, which is in future training webinars. When we do go through a different use case, what industry or industries would you like us to showcase insights on? What would be most relevant? We always need to choose some example of an industry or a company. So if it is more relevant for us to show about retail or travel, or banking, automotive, or any other, please do select. And for those of you that have selected other, we will follow up with you afterwards. It'll be interesting to learn what other industries important and relevant to you. So I'll give you a few more seconds again to select before I close the poll. This is again like super helpful for us planning next year. Your input is extremely valuable, and we will base all of our training plans around this. So thank you. I'm going to end this poll now. And just for your interest, so you can see, this was what everyone selected for industry. So again, we see a real mixture of industries, but a lot wanted to hear about retail and consumer goods, and also other. We'll be interested to learn which other industries fit into that. So thank you so much. So now let me just skip forward. Just before we get to the Q&A, I wanted to announce our new certification program for agencies. So we have just launched a certification program for agencies that we are rolling out gradually to our customers, and we wanted everyone on this webinar to be the first customers to participate in this. So you can take our certification to basically become a Similarweb expert, understand how to navigate the pro to answer key business questions for your prospects and clients. Hopefully today's webinar will have helped you become a pro, and then also if you are certified, you can tell the world about it and share it on your LinkedIn and your resume. The certification covers a whole bunch of topics, many of which we talked about today in the webinar. And if you are interested to do the certification, and also for your colleagues as well, please do email your account manager after this webinar, and they will arrange for you to get the invitation link to take the certification course. Again, for yourself or for your colleagues, let us know. We think it's really, really important for you, and it will be great for us and you, the more of you we can get certified. So that is it. And now if there are any questions, we have a few minutes for Q&A. So one moment, just gonna check. So first of all, several of you asked if we're going to send over the recording. So just to reiterate, we have recorded this webinar. We will share it with all of you here, and you can feel free to share that with colleagues as well. So thank you for that. And I think there were no major questions other than that. So if you do have questions in future, please feel free to follow up. I would say that your account manager is your key contact. If you don't know who your account manager is, please do reach out to Rachel and myself. We'll be happy to point that out. And we will be sending the recording to all of you by email, and that lesson plan as well for you to use that going forward. Now that I've said we're wrapping up, we're suddenly getting all these questions through. So everyone was interested to know actually what were the poll results for the use cases, which I didn't share with you. I will quickly share with you those results of which were the most popular use cases, if you're interested to see that as well. But it was quite a mixture. So we saw quite a mixture, but the key one was about how to monitor and report. So focusing on the monitoring and reporting, but also people wanting to know about pitching, about API integrations, etc. So we will try and cover all of these topics in future training webinars. And I think that is it. So on that note, we will wrap up. Thank you again so much to Rachel, and thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.